Hello, good evening and welcome to Business Live. Coming up, traders fear cedi's depreciation will affect ability to service bank loans and cause a possible shortage of some goods on the market. We are live with the Ghana Union of Traders Association. Also in this bulletin, Vice President Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia pushes for increased investment in the development of fintech payment platforms to accelerate financial inclusion across the continent.
As telecommunications infrastructure expands, fintech services are rapidly penetrating previously underserved communities and remote regions.
We will get to hear more from other speakers at the ongoing 3i Africa Summit. Plus, new Chief Executive of MTN Ghana, Stephen Blowett, warns telecom sector risks fresh investments due to high level of taxes.
Now, you can milk a cow, but when you kill the cow, you can't milk it. Do you know what I'm saying? So the reality is it is a very thin line, and that's why I say it's a collaborative approach. I believe that what we need to do is we need to start sitting down and rather saying, how much more can I get from you, as opposed to how do we sit, how do I enable you to invest more?
We have details of these and many others lined up for you. Please stay on. Thanks so much for your company. I am Pius Kojo Baka, and we want to begin business from this developing story. We are learning traders are worried that the current depreciation of the cedi could result in the shortage of products on the market. They argue that most of them are struggling to pay for their imported goods because of the local currency's performance and rising port charges. They have also complained about their inability to service their loans with the banks. President of the Ghana Union of Traders Association, Dr. Joseph Obeng, joins us via Zoom for some quick conversations on the back of this. Thanks so much, sir, for your time. Now, I want you to paint a picture for us how bad the depreciation of the cedi has affected your operations, especially when you talk about freight charges.
Yeah. When you owe in dollars, then you understand, you appreciate the problem that we are facing. And most of us have the supplier's credit, and we are owing our suppliers. If there's depreciation, such as the one that is occurring now, then of course most of us are in serious problem. You know, the trading that we do, when we go and buy the goods, it's measured in dollars. The freight charges that we pay, the freight charges are going up astronomically high, like it did during the COVID time, especially for the Asian goods. And then it is also measured, when you are paying the duties, it is also measured in dollar. So all these things combine and make cost of doing business extremely very high, and that's what we are experiencing now. And it makes the consuming public also, their purchasing power reduces. When it happens like that, our turnover is curtailed, and we are unable to service our debt, which leads to somehow. Hello?
Yeah, so Doc, Thanks so much for staying on, but kindly position yourself as I ask the next question. So ultimately,
Okay.
yeah, do I get the sense that if steps are not taken to address the issue, you may be compelled to pass on the cost to consumers? It's rather unfortunate. Dr. Oben's line, kept freezing as and when, but we shall visit that story subsequently in other bulletins to ensure it rectifies that. So let's move on to some other stories. The Vice President, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, is pushing for increased investment in the development of fintech payment platforms to accelerate financial inclusion across the continent. He also urged stakeholders to embrace the tech evolution, such as the advancement of AI and cryptocurrency. My colleague Winston Taki has been engaging the Vice President at the Accra International Conference Center where he's been speaking. Let's take a listen to him.
As telecommunications infrastructure expands, fintech services are rapidly penetrating previously underserved communities and remote regions. This expansion is fueled by significant investments from stakeholders in both telecommunications and fintech sectors aimed at reinforcing infrastructure and enhancing digital capabilities. The integration of robust telecommunications networks with fintech solutions is democratizing access to financial services, fostering entrepreneurial spirit, and unlocking unprecedented economic opportunities. As Africa continues to embrace this digital transformation, the synergy between telecommunications and fintech will undoubtedly remain a driving force behind the continent's growth. Industry research indicates a remarkable surge in tech startups across Africa, with the number nearly tripling from 2020 to 2021 to reach approximately 5,200 companies. Notably, fintechs comprise just under half of these startups, indicating a significant focus on innovating and responsibly disrupting the financial services sector. Ladies and gentlemen, the rapid development in fintech in Africa spans across multiple segments, from blockchain and cryptocurrency to robo-advisors and payment platforms. Each segment presents unique opportunities and challenges, requiring us to stay agile and adaptable in our approach.
Communications and Digitalization Minister Esla Uswekufol is pushing for more collaboration with all financial sector regulators to effectively deal with challenges in the mobile industry and fintech space. She has been speaking to Joy Business on the sidelines of the summit.
People who have taken loans when they are particular mobile money accounts and have they've defaulted on those loans. And so if you're trying to send them money, they'll give you a specific account to send it to. Don't send it to this my number or send it to that.
Getting around the system.
So they're getting around the system. Now we have a SIM registry which has details of all the SIM numbers registered to any single Ghana card. So all your active phone numbers are registered to you as a person. So if the Bank of Ghana were to link up with a SIM registry and know what SIM numbers or what phone numbers everybody is using for their mobile money accounts, if you take a loan and you default, they know that it is you. So unless you pay for that loan, you are blacklisted from accessing mobile money accounts. I'm not saying that that should be done, but let's think about what we could do better if we link our databases And that's the point that every speaker has made. We're keeping databases in silos. They're not talking to each other. So we're not able to analyze that data and utilize it for the benefit of society as a whole. Now, if you throw in GRA into the mix as well, and they have visibility over what's happening in that space, so they'll be better able to know how much revenue is being passed through which particular account, and whether or not the requisite taxes are being paid on those profits that are being made, so that at the end of the day, behind the scenes, if these regulators are talking to each other, between the NCA, NITA, GRA, and the Bank of Ghana, we would be able to sanitize the space quietly. But we need to link up those databases, and that information. However, because they are not talking to each other, we're not able to get the full benefit of the information that all these different regulators have.
Chief Executive of MTN Ghana, Stephen Blewett, is warning that fresh investments into the telecom sector could be affected badly due to current tax levels. Industry data suggests that each mobile operator contributes about 20% of its revenue as taxes to the state. Now, the new chief executive is warning that this will slow the expansion of digital infrastructure, a development that may affect affordability and access mobilized internet. Mr. Blewett was speaking at the 3i Africa Summit.
Part of any nation state is that if you're a large company, you are part of the fabric of producing a successful country, because we contribute to the revenues of the country, and we take that very seriously, and every quarter we show how much we contribute because we're proud of what we give. Now the balancing act always is, and is always going to be, this kind of little bit of area of friction between how much is we give and how much the country needs, but it's required. But what has to happen is, if you work together with the government, you can collectively develop a process of allowing revenues to flow. And this is the key part. It is not conflict, it's collaboration. And what I always encourage people in any country I've worked is, if we look at each other through the lens of collaboration, we move away from us and them to a point of, okay, how do we collaborate together to ensure a successful revenue generation for the country, but also allows the business to operate successfully and innovation to occur.
But how do we draw the line? Because we've seen the numbers, and you've published it every quarter, and in billions of direct and indirect taxes. Where do we draw the line to ensure that, whilst we demand you to pay more, but also to ensure that we don't stifle? And your previous CEO spoke about this when I sat down with him, that there's a thin line to ensure that we don't stifle innovation, the expansion. People are complaining that they want 5G, 4+G and all the rest. How do we ensure that, whilst we demand all these things, we don't kill the geese that is laying the golden eggs? Yeah,
I mean, absolutely. I mean, there's another analogy I always like to do. Now, you can milk a cow, but when you kill the cow, you can't milk it. Do you know what I'm saying? So the reality is, it is a very thin line. And that's why I say it's a collaborative approach. I believe that what we need to do is, we need to start sitting down and rather saying, how much more can I get from you, as opposed to, how do I enable you to invest more, to generate more revenue, to be able to allow you to succeed, because when we succeed, the country succeeds.
From the 3i Africa Summit, head of the legal division of the Ghana Investment Promotion Center, Na Lamle Olens Lindsay, is urging local businesses to explore the benefits of the Exemptions Act. Speaking at the 3i Africa Summit in Accra, Olens Lindsay highlighted that companies utilizing the services of other Ghanaian businesses may qualify for specific tax or free exemptions under the Act. This, she says, suggests an opportunity for local businesses to potentially reduce costs and boost their competitiveness by working with other Ghanaian firms.
The GIPC Act, as well as the regulations, one of the main purposes there is to ensure that companies in Ghana, whether they are local companies, whether they are foreign companies, always ensure that they look first within Ghana for services. We want to make clear that this does not apply to goods. The TTA applies only to services. So we encourage companies to look inward, look within Ghana, In the event that they are not available in Ghana, then they can go out of Ghana to receive these services. So we encourage companies to explore Ghanaian companies who are able to provide top-notch services to them before seeking to get them outside the country. But when you say incentives, I suspect many companies are thinking about tax waivers and tax incentives. At the moment, we have what we call the Exemptions Act, which harmonizes the incentive regime for companies. And in that law, depending on your activity in Ghana, the government of Ghana, through the Ministry of Finance and Parliament, may grant you specific incentives. But this is largely to do with your activity in country. If it's in a priority area, an area where Ghana seeks to increase investments in, then you may get an incentive or a tax waiver.
You're still watching Business Live. We are pausing for a breather. Be right back with more. Hello, welcome back to Business Live. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration says it has revived its long-term program of promoting made-in-Ghana goods and services. After coming to a temporary halt over the past 3 years, the third edition of the Made-in-Ghana Bazaar, the ministry says, will create a platform to build strong relationships between Ghana's local industries and well-established markets of foreign partners abroad through the use of Ghana's diplomatic missions and networks. Now, Minister for Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration, Shirley Ayoko-Botchwey, at the media launch of the Bazaar, re-echoed the need to patronize made-in-Ghana goods and services while improving on the production, processing, packaging, and distribution chain.
I wish to emphasize that the overarching objective of the Bazaar is to use the network of our diplomatic missions abroad and diplomatic missions accredited to the Republic of Ghana to facilitate the penetration of Ghanaian products and services into foreign markets. The Bazaar also creates a needed platform to build strong relationships between Ghana's local industries and the well-established markets of our foreign partners abroad. It also aims to re-echo the need to patronize made-in-Ghana goods and services while improving on the production, processing, packaging, and distribution chain. The third edition of the Bazaar would provide exhibitors with an opportunity to showcase a wide range of innovative products and services, as well as to establish contacts with strategic partners, exchange experiences, explore business opportunities, and to consolidate relationships with new and existing customers. The timing of this event is auspicious because of the dynamics of today's international system. This has prompted the need for governments to focus more on economic diplomacy by forging partnerships and strengthening economic ties to boost their economies, to create prosperity and improve the living standards of their peoples.
Insurance practitioners have been charged to invest in education and research to develop innovative insurance solutions which will meet the needs of consumers. Technological advancement as well as climate change poses a new challenge to the industry since existing products will have to be modified or new ones created to these evolutions. Speaking at the 17th graduation ceremony of the National Insurance College, Director of the college, Michael Richard Ochre, noted that building the capacity of practitioners will improve customer satisfaction.
In all, 322 persons graduated with various diplomas and certificates in insurance at the 17th graduation ceremony of the Ghana Insurance College. 157 students graduated with diplomas in applied insurance, while 154 students graduated with advanced diplomas in various fields of insurance. Additionally, 21 students were awarded certificates in insurance. In the special award category, females dominated, winning over 67% of the top prizes. In his address, Michael Richard Ochre, Director of the Ghana Insurance College, charged the new graduates to build capacity by investing in research and education.
Today, in this 21st century, and in the midst of artificial intelligence era, it is paramount and of national and industry interest to research extensively to add and to contribute to knowledge and to optimize the way of doing things. This will lead to the improvement of operational efficiencies, customer service satisfaction, and innovations to product and product distribution systems. Be humble and be willing to learn from experience. Quoting from Isaac Newton, who once said, "If I'm able to see afar off, it's because I've stood on the shoulders of those who have gone ahead of me."
The Acting Commissioner of Insurance, Michael Kofi Ando, urged insurance practitioners to develop innovative products that cater to climate change effects and technological evolution.
Climate change and cybersecurity are key emerging risks that need urgent attention. Climate change, exhibited by the increasing frequency and intensity of floods, drought, temperature rises, and rising sea levels, is impacting the insurance and operational risks of insurance companies in very tremendous ways. The insurance industry needs to take steps to respond to these risks to mitigate their impact. In fact, the Energy Commission sometime last year estimated that in about 5 years, 80% of the cars on our roads will all be electric vehicles. Question: how do we price the insurance for those vehicles?
Kenneth Dorr took home the award for the Best Advanced Diploma Student, while Portia Pinkra was adjudged the top diploma student in Applied Insurance Studies.
More from the insurance sector, the chairman of the Council of Bureau of ECOWAS Brown Card Insurance Scheme and managing director of Phoenix Insurance Company, Henry Bukari, has admonished practitioners and handlers of motor insurance claims in the ECOWAS sub-region to show empathy and do all they can to speedily pay claims. The ECOWAS Brown Card Insurance Scheme is an extension of the motor insurance cover to promote the free movement of people and their goods in the sub-region. Speaking at the first zonal meeting of the ECOWAS Brown Card Insurance Scheme, which is being held in Conakry, Guinea, he admonished insurers to treat such situations with urgency.
Today, as we review our technical tests and documents, that is the Harmonized Convention for Motor Victim Compensation, our bilateral interbureau agreement, and the arbitration guide, let us remember the importance of these documents in shaping the future of our scheme. These documents form the very foundation upon which our scheme rests. Our discussions and deliberations are important in ensuring that we maintain the highest standards of fairness, transparency, and cooperation. I urge each of you to invest in this process, not only for your personal and national interest, but also for the collective good of our entire scheme. I encourage you to contribute to the discussions so that together we can come out with texts that are responsive to our current needs and time and meet the changing needs of our people. By working together and sharing our insights, we can create a more robust and responsive framework for the practical operationalization of our scheme. This benefits not only our respective countries, but also the people who rely on our scheme for protection and peace of mind.
And that's our program for today. I am Pius Kojo Baka. For more stories, do log on to myjoyonline.com/business. cedi to continue losing strength, depreciates by about 17% to the dollar. Also on that portal, fuel prices to ease from May 16, 2024. Being said by the Institute of Energy Security. That's it. See you same time tomorrow. Bye.